What I'm working on here today is a 2012 Escape. I am going to be replacing the front passenger side wheel bearing. It is a pressed in bearing. I'll show you a technique that you can use so you don't have to have a press. You do need a welder though. I do have the vehicle in park. It is on a jack stand. I have the rear wheels blocked and the parking brake is set. If you don't have the assistance of power tools, you'll need to break loose the tightness of the lugs as well as the axle nut before jacking the vehicle up. I'm going to remove the front wheel. Okay, I recently had an alignment and I don't want to pay $130 for one, so I'm going to put this camber tool on here. So when I put it back together, we're going to have to take the steering knuckle out of the strut here, and that will mess with the alignment. So I'm going to put this on here, check where the alignment is, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove all these components, and when we put it back together, hopefully I can get that in the correct spot and we're going to be good. We won't need another alignment. Okay, I have that. I'm going to zero it out. I'm going to take and set this off to the side. Next, I'm going to remove the caliper bracket and the caliper all as one, and I'm going to take and hang it from the strut tower so I don't put any stress on the brake line. Okay, sometimes in the rust belt these rotors rust on there. To get them off, just hit here with a hammer with a sharp blow and usually they pop off. Next we'll go ahead and remove the axle nut. Next I'm going to take 18 millimeter and take the nut off the tie rod end. Get the tie rod to pop out of the taper. I'm going to hit the steering knuckle here with a hammer with a swift blow and it should pop out. Okay, on the top of the steering knuckle here we will have our speed sensor. It's an 8 millimeter. We'll go and remove that bolt and then wiggle it around and it should come out fairly easily. Next we're going to go and remove this nut on this pinch bolt for the lower ball joint. Okay, with that nut removed, we'll go on the other side and give the bolt a spin. That usually helps get it out. I will take a dead blow hammer and knock that bolt out of there. Okay, I took a shot of little spray paint on where the steering knuckle attaches to the strut, so it'll help me line it up a little better, and we'll hold the one side with an 18 millimeter wrench and take the two nuts off of there. Okay, with those two nuts removed, we'll go ahead and take our soft blow hammer here and knock out those bolts. Now we're going to want to make sure our axle nut or our axle is free from the hub, so we're going to hit on it. That seems free, so now we can take and pull the steering knuckle up out of the bottom ball joint there, and we'll be able to pull the axle out of there. Many a times these are pretty rusted in there and they don't want to come out. So we'll take a cold chisel and we'll pound that in, separate the cast just a little bit. You'll want to probably brace your lower control arm here because it'll just be springing up and down. So I have the steering knuckle clamped in a vise here. I have it supported by a block of wood here, and we're going to push out the hub. So what I have is a socket that's slightly smaller here, and we're going to put that on there and drive the hub out. Okay, so what happens here is all the ball bearings will come out because one of the races will be stuck to your hub here. To get this off, you can take a Dremel tool and cut halfway down this here and then put a cold chisel in that cut and then hit it with a hammer. It'll crack and then you'll be able to pull this off very easily. I, however, bought a new hub with the bearing, so I'm not going to do that. So now we'll flip our steering knuckle over, take the cage out here with the last couple ball bearings in it, and there is a snap ring that goes in here. Obviously it's damaged, otherwise we'll take a snap ring pliers and go ahead and remove that. Next, we're going to go tighten this up. This is where our snap ring went, and the bearing will need to be pushed out this way. However, this inner race here, we're going to knock that out, and then we're going to clean all the grease out of there and weld a bead on the inside here. And what that's going to do is when it cools, it's going to shrink and then pull the edges of our bearing in, so it'll slide out way easier. So I'm just going to take a hammer, knock this inner race out of here. Should come out fairly easy. Okay, the inner race fell out. Now I'll go and clean this grease out of here. And we're going to go and weld a bead right around here with a stick welder. Okay, got it welded there. We'll let that cool and we'll be able to push that out. Okay, now that it cooled a little bit, what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of tiny floor flange. I'm going to put that in the back here. It'll hook on the back of the bearing. I have a little receiver cup here. You can use a piece of plumbing thing here. I'm going to place another floor flange on here, and then put a nut on there and continually tighten that up, and that'll pull our old bearing race out. This is where you would usually use a press. We're just going to go ahead and use a grade 8 bolt here and continually tighten this up, and it'll pull our old bearing out. Okay, as you can see right here, tighten that up. There is some separation there. Now I'm going to put it back in the vise with that board there, and I'm going to just tap it out the rest of the way. Okay, with that out, we're going to have to, there is a collar here, so we have to flip the steering knuckle around, and then we're going to put the bearing in from this side. Okay, so I got our new bearing here, and this one happens to be 76 millimeters around here. It will slide in there, so it's not too big. And then I'll put a bigger one on the back side here, and we're just going to keep tightening that bolt up until it pulls it all the way in. So the setup here is we have a bearing driver on that side with our bolt going all the way through. Just going to hold that nut there and continue tightening that. Okay, you're going to want to make sure it's going in straight, and at some point you're going to have to switch to a smaller bolt or a shorter one, and we'll just keep bringing this in till it bottoms out. Okay, it changed tone when I fully seated it. So now I'm going to back this off, and we're going to put that snap ring in. Okay, now it's time to put the hub in. So now that we have that snap ring in there, the hub goes in from that direction, goes in here. So we don't want to take this bearing here and then push that out by pushing the hub in there. So we're going to place this on there. This is holding the inner race of the hub. I'm going to place this on there with the bolt going through, and then we're going to take and tighten this up, and it'll pull our hub in. Okay, a little close up of the setup here, and we have a large washer on there. We'll go ahead and tighten this nut up here, and then it'll pull that in. We'll pull that in all the way. Okay, bottomed out our bolt, so I had to put some spacers in there. Okay, it's now fully seated in there. Go ahead and install it. Okay, now we're ready to reinstall it. We'll put the lower ball joint through there, put the bolt in, then line up our strut on the top of the steering knuckle, and then we'll put our tie rod on there. Well, my camera keeps shutting off in the high heat here, but I put the axle nut on, the speed sensor, tightened up the tie rod end, the lower ball joint, and I put the steering knuckle in the strut, and it's a little bit loose. I'm going to go and put the rotor on, check our alignment with that camber tool, and then I'm going to adjust the steering knuckle a little bit, and I'm going to torque those two bolts on the top of the steering knuckle to the strut, at 85 foot-pounds. Okay, now I'm going to go and put the caliper bracket on there. I put a little bit of thread locker on there. Oop. Make sure you don't do what I did. Pull your brake off the caliper there. Just gonna go and pick this up and slide that over the rotor. And we'll put our two 18mm bolts in the back there. Take our hook off of here. We'll put our wheel back on. We'll start the lugs by hand. I'm going to run them down with the impact, and then after that we'll take the vehicle off of the jack and jack stand. Then we'll unblock the rear wheel. Once it's on the ground, we'll torque the lugs to 100 foot-pounds. Okay, I'm going to torque the lug nuts here to 100 foot-pounds. I believe it's like 220 foot-pounds for the axle nut. Unfortunately, I didn't have a torque wrench that went up that high, so I just tightened it as tight as I could. Then we'll unblock the wheels, take the parking brake off.